guys, my name is Nairi and my channel is Doula Nairi, and I'm here to talk to you today about surviving domestic abuse in the family home. And as a child I witnessed domestic violence in my family home, so it's actually very difficult to talk about, but I'm going to make this video because I know it will help some of you guys out there. So bear with, and I'll try and cover things as broadly as I can, which will, potentially go through a few points for you. So the first thing to say about this is that it takes a while for you to come through childhood and into adulthood and actually recognise what's happened to you. Now, from my generation, because I'm 50, domestic violence and what was going on in the home was not something that was really acknowledged, because I know in my situation the school knew about it, different people knew about it, but really nothing much was done about it. Now, I have managed to process what I've been through over the last 20 to 25 years. That's how long it's taken me. And as the years gone by, I've been able to process it better and better. But I will tell you some of the stages that I've gone through to get to that point. So first of all, this is childhood, okay? So then you build up many memories of your childhood. Now, I don't have any positive memories really of childhood. I know that my mum was fantastic. I can't really think of any specifics really though where things were happy. So it's very difficult to come from childhood into adulthood and to take into adulthood any positive vibes. And one thing that I think that you do tend to do if you've had a negative childhood is you tend to then believe that your adulthood will be the same, because that's the only pattern that you know. So it takes a while to process these things. It takes a while to understand what you've been through. And then the process of kind of grieving for a lost childhood happens. And that can take many, many years. And some people need to go through counselling for that. For me, I needed to offload an awful lot to my husband, who really became that person for me. Not everybody's going to be doing it that way, I know. And I also had a point where I needed to confront the person that had caused that much grief to me with putting it down in writing. That was very difficult. I don't know whether it was the right thing to do, but for me at the time, I needed to do that. And then you have a series of situations throughout your life that trigger memories and bring back things to haunt you. And for me, I've always struggled a lot with lack of sleep and with a lot of nightmares as well. And actually, one of the most difficult times for me was when I started off in my marriage and I was really happy and really in love, and the fear of losing that person, the fear that they would not continue loving me, the fear that they were going to let me down and they were going to leave me. And that is because if you're told time and time again that you're no good, if you witness enough scary situations, then you just can't see that your adulthood is going to be a positive experience. However, guys, I'm 50, I've managed to have a family, I've managed to run a business, and I have managed to process these things. But the key to all, I think, is being able to lay it out bare, either in front of someone that you don't know because you feel more comfortable, or someone that you do know, and also potentially to write it down, and then when you're ready, to leave that memory somewhere or throw that memory away. Now, most of the things that I've experienced in childhood, I've been able to lay to rest. There are a few things in there which will probably never be able to be put anywhere or done anything with. However, even those things are becoming easier to talk about. So, I know that time doesn't heal everything, but time is a big healer, and you need to remain positive and just recognise in yourself the things that you do which are probably related back to that childhood time, the triggers that you have. I can't have anybody breathing alcoholic smell on me. That would be something that would take me straight back there. I hate loud noises. I've only just in the last 5 years been able to tolerate fireworks. So anything that's suddenly a sudden loud noise or anything like that, that takes me back. I also am probably more cautious, more anxious than your average person, because I am thinking, oh, you know, what bad thing is going to happen to me next? So in some ways, recognizing that about myself and accepting that about myself has helped me to move forward. I don't need to be like everybody else. I need to be me with my history, and I need to live with that history and be able to move forward. So the trouble with domestic violence, in a way, it's probably not as talked about, or hasn't been as talked about, as the other categories of abuse. And the thing is with it as well, is what comes with it is emotional abuse. And in my situation, I found myself in the mix of what was happening, very much so. So it wasn't just happening towards one of my parents, it was happening toward me as well. So in some situations, we were in very dangerous situations. And, you know, that means that your fear levels are heightened when that's happening. And you live on your nerves as a child. Unfortunately, that means that can be carried over, you know, into adulthood as well. So seek to start the process of unraveling this. Seek to start to think about the memories, think them through, and then park them, box them away if you like. Now, for me, I didn't personally find that counselling helped me, in the sense that I wasn't very good in front of a stranger. And for me, I found that my husband was my therapy. And I think I was very lucky in that, because in the early days, he really did get it. You know, I lost it lots of times. I just almost couldn't bear that closeness. So you've got to find that person. It could be a counsellor, it could be a family member. I would suggest, for me anyway, writing things down, and then sort of when I dealt with it, putting it to one side. It takes time, it takes years. Stick with it. You know, the dreams will get less, the trauma will become less, you'll start to heal. And as you build happier memories, you know, God willing, in your adulthood, then the childhood memories will gradually, you know, they will gradually fade, and they will become of a lesser impact to you. Guys, I hope that helps you. It's just my experiences. Obviously, I'm not a professional. There's so much more I could say about it, but you know, I think a shorter video in one go is probably the best thing for me, and possibly the best thing for you. If you think what I am saying, you know, might help you, then consider subscribing, because obviously I will be posting more on, as I do, about family life in general on my channel. Thank you so much. Goodbye.